filled with airplane peanuts.
I brought another joint. We'll have another one. Shout out to LA Speedweed. Oh, man. Well, it's clearly an indica. It might be BC. Ladies and gentlemen. WRLD Podcast. Oh my god. I am from the future. That's insane. There is no fucking way.
No, it's real.
This is weird.
It's real. It's real.
We're the same person.
Yeah.
I came from the future. How does a person even do that with their body? Some super sophisticated genius god robot.
Can you really do that?
Oh yeah, all the time, man. That's still insane. Fucking nuts, man. The edibles? No, like a joint. Oh, that's right. When I first did your podcast. How many years ago was that? I think it was first time I did it. I don't remember. I think all the people you've had on the conversations you've had with those people.
Right.
You know, how much of that would you ever have if it wasn't for doing your podcast? People like that crazy asshole that went to jail. What the fuck's his name? Joey Diaz. People like that guy. I think a big part of you becoming more comfortable and more relaxed and becoming who you are today is that you started becoming successful as a comedian. There might be something to that. There might be something to that now, even. Yeah, that's a funny thing about you, Joe. Do you have DMT in the future? Yes. Have you ever been whacked out of your mind on psychedelics? Yep. It's a reset button. It changes how you feel about life. You know, most people smoke DMT. They do this. They smoke it, and they just go, wow. You see the stars. You're like, this is fucking nuts, man. You can see them all. Jesus Christ. You fucking freak out. Yeah. It changes you. It changes the way you think of things. It changes me for sure. Yeah. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on. What about deer meat? Elk's my favorite. I know how much you love elk. But PETA had a statement that they put out. All the different elk are dead. Oh my God. It's a terrible time for humanity. It's a terrible time for us. And you're a vegetarian. Everyone's fucked. Only vegetables. I can't do it. That's when you start doing coke. That's when you start going crazy. What? What the fuck, man? You're just always doing coke. I know who I'm fucking going in business with. What do you... Wait a minute. Paris Hilton. No! Hey everybody, it's Paris Hilton. Jesus Christ. That's a symptom of terrible thinking. Whoa! Listen, this is one of my favorite times ever. It's great. I gotta get out of here.
If you just watched this whole video, you definitely have a great sense of humor, so please consider subscribing to Joke WRLD. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and follow us on Instagram, DM us to get these free stickers sent to your address, no questions asked, free Joke WRLD stickers, anyone who follows us on Instagram. Thanks for watching.
Damn, boy.
March Madness of podcasting. So it's just like the real March Madness, but instead of college basketball teams, it's going to be with our favorite comedians' podcasts. So those 24 shows that you just saw, those are going to get whittled down into a Sweet 16 based on YouTube subscriber amounts. I think that's the most fair way to do seeding. Then after that, every Saturday in March, starting tomorrow, Saturday, March 12th, there's going to be a poll in the Joke WRLD community section, and it's going to be the matchups. And you guys are going to get to vote on who moves on to the next rounds every Saturday. And then this following Sunday, there's going to be a quick video recapping what the results were, who's moving on, and what the new matchups are. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the bracket. It went based on seeding. There were 4 number 1 seeds, and those were the people with the 4 most YouTube subscribers. So that went to Joe Rogan Experience, Your Mom's House, This Past Weekend, and 2 Bears, 1 Cave. Those are our 1 seeds, and then we'll get into the bracket. All right, first round matchups. In Region 1, we have the number 1 overall seed, the Joe Rogan Experience, going up against the 16 seed Trash Tuesdays. And then we have Uncle Joey's Joint going up against Kill Tony. Region 2 is Your Mom's House versus the Honeydew in the first round. And then Tiger Belly against Whiskey Ginger, which is obviously a very interesting matchup. Bobby versus Andrew in the first round. Then we go on to Region 3. We have Theo in This Past Weekend starting off against Chrissy Chaos. And then Flagrant 2 against the King and the Sting. And then finally in Region 4, 2 Bears, 1 Cave against Hey Babe in the first round. And Bad Friends against the Tim Dillon Show, which personally I think is the most interesting matchup of the first round. So yeah, every Saturday there's going to be a poll uploaded in the community section. Make sure you go check out that section and you're voting on these. Go tell your friends who listen to these shows who might not know about this channel to vote. I don't care if they subscribe. Just, let's get this as authentic as we can, the most fan interaction. And if you're like, why are you doing this? It's because I like sports and I like comedy, and I think this is going to be really fun. And it's something that we get to all do together. The whole comedy community, it'd be really cool if we all came together and just did like a fun little podcast March Madness tournament. Every Saturday, make sure you're at the community section, and then every Sunday following that will be the video recap to see who moves on. Also, if you're wondering, I did not include Congratulations podcast because that is the one like true solo podcast, so it didn't really fit in with everything else. And basketball is a team sport, so Congratulations is not in if you're wondering what that is, but everything else was considered, then the top 16 seeds again moved on. The cool thing about this is that it's not going to be a popularity contest. The 16 seed could beat the 1 seed in the first round if enough Trash Tuesday fans voted and no Joe Rogan fans voted, or if you aren't a fan of either of those podcasts and you want to root for an underdog story, anything could happen. Just like in real March Madness when the 1 seed Virginia lost in the first round, I think that was 2018 in the real tournament, that could happen and it could be fun. And we can crown a champ. So yeah, March with Joke WRLD is going to be a lot of madness, and we're still going to be uploading our normal videos. So if you're thinking that this is going to be it for the month, that's not true. We'll still be uploading the normal content on our channel. And go tell your friends. Make sure you're voting every Saturday, video every Sunday. If you want a printable bracket and you want to fill that out and try to make a perfect bracket, DM me on Instagram. I'll send you one that you can download. And happy March Madness.
With airplane peanuts.
Bob wasn't something that was taken away from us. He was something that was given to us.
I hope everybody here either had Bob as a friend like that or someday has a friend like Bob.
Kelly, do you want to come up?
Keep it short.
The most important thing to him was belonging to this club, to this group, to being a comedian.
Welcome to the Bob Super Spreader, everybody.
We're coming to see you, Bob.
He actually told me once that he was going to donate his penis to science. And actually last week, Kelly got a letter. And it said, "Dear Mrs. Saget, we think we could do better."
You made people laugh. You made people feel loved. You made people money.
I think it's sad that the motherfucker had to die to get Jim Carrey back on stage.
Today is Monday, June 13th, and Netflix just came out with its new Bob Saget tribute, and it's a real tearjerker. Welcome back to the Joke WRLD Comedy Update. Every single Monday, bringing you all the comedy news from the comedy world, whether that be new specials, new tours, who was on each other's podcast last week, new tributes like this from Netflix. Any comedy news that you need to know, it's all in one place here on the Joke WRLD channel, so make sure you subscribe to stay in the comedy loop and follow us on Instagram to support new up-and-coming comedians. But today we're talking about Dirty Daddy, the Bob Saget tribute, just out on Netflix this week, and man, was it special. It involved people like Jim Carrey, Jeff Ross, Chris Rock, Bob's whole family, Bob Saget's whole family, his wife, his daughters. John Stamos was there, John Mayer was there, they're close friends, and it was hosted at the Comedy Store, which is, a historic comedy venue, and it's where Bob Saget got his start, and it's where a lot of these guys got to start when they were just teenagers. Bob Saget started at the Comedy Store when he was a teenager. There's a lot of good stuff about him in the Comedy Store documentary, about how him and people like Jim Carrey and they would just show up with nothing, and they were so young, and the Comedy Store was able to mold them into these household names. And it was just cool. They had a bunch of couches on the stage, and just these legendary comics and musicians and family friends and actors just got to hang out and share their favorite Bob Saget stories and memories. And just the main takeaway from watching this tribute on Netflix is like, what a hell of a life this guy lived, to leave this kind of legacy and to hear the things that his closest friends and family say about him. It just makes you think like, what a life well lived. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Bob Saget tribute on Netflix right now. It's called Dirty Daddy, the Bob Saget tribute, and it's just so touching, and it's very special. One of the cooler things that Netflix has done for comedy too, and it doesn't feel like a reach, it doesn't feel like a money grab, it just really feels like a special curtain call for Bob Saget. So definitely go check that out. The Bob Saget tribute on Netflix, out right now.
Every one of us up here swear that we were his best friend, I think that's the mark of a liar, It's
I want to read my last text from Bob. It said, "I love you so much. I will say that God gave me the brother that I wanted." I said, "Well, you have a lot of God-given brothers, but I'm first, right?" And he said, "Mayor's an amazing friend, but he's more fair weather. You're always there, so you're number one."
He accepted us. And acceptance is the boring part of love, but it's just as important.
You created a cathedral of fucking love.
Some more new stand-up on Netflix right now. Pete Davidson just had a special come out called Pete Davidson and the Best Friends. So it's on Netflix, and it's Pete Davidson's show where it's almost exactly actually like the Bill Burr special that just came out that we talked about last Monday on the Comedy Update, where that was Bill Burr Friends Who Kill, and it was him hosting the show and opening it and then bringing up some of his friends in comedy to come kill, and it didn't go so well. But this one, you could argue, went worse. Maybe we should stop this like weird format of like showcasing people with musical guests at the end, because this was Pete Davidson. He opened it up with like 15 minutes of stand-up, and he had a few solid jokes. A lot of it was Kanye jokes, and they were good, and it was like, obviously he needs to address this, or it'd be weird if he didn't. And there were some funny things they said about it, and I'm personally a fan of Kanye's music, and I respect the guy. So yeah, but I was still like, all right, these are some good jokes. So Pete's set was fine, nothing to write home about really, but it was fine.
I remember I went to a Knicks game with Jon Stewart and Chris Rock, right? And I know it's a weird thing to go at, but it's not my fault. That's my life now. Yeah, everybody just gets mad at me because my life's dope. It's so confusing. I don't even do anything bad. They're just like, what a dick! You're like,
the people that he brought up, I would say this whole Netflix show is nothing out of the ordinary for what you might see in any comedy club around the country on any given Thursday through Sunday. Like it wasn't necessarily open mic or shit, but like it didn't blow my mind. Like I feel like I've been at a lot of comedy shows where this quality of jokes and this kind of response by the crowd and everything, it felt similar to just an average show, maybe not something to be on Netflix on one of the premier comedy sharing platforms, but I feel like they they saw a chance to use Pete Davidson's name. He's so hot in the media right now, and they took it. So it was just Pete Davidson. He brought up a few comics. They did all right. They did fine. It was fine. Yeah, like I said, you could find that in any comedy club at most weekends and get the same kind of quality comedy. And then it ended with a Machine Gun Kelly live musical performance, which is like, that was probably cool for the people that were there, but I'm not going to sit and watch a live musical concert performance on Netflix from my laptop. Like that, it's not fun unless you're there with this kind of musical stuff. So like, although it was cool because you got a big superstar to close out the show, and it's called Pete Davidson Best Friends, and him and MGK are best friends, like, it just is like not something that I'm going to personally do, is sit at home and watch a concert. Like, concerts are legitimately only fun when you're there. Like, how many people do you know that will go to a concert and post the entire thing on their Snap story, and you're like clicking through it like, this is ass? First of all, why are you doing that at a concert? But second of all, this is ass to watch second-handed. So concerts are not a video, like, they don't translate. So it was fine. If you have nothing else to watch and you have a Netflix subscription, I would check it out. But under no other circumstances would I really consider giving it the time of day.
So we go to this game, and I remember it's a very special game because it's the night that Steph Curry is about to break the three-point record, right? So me, John, and Chris are like under the hoop, and it just so happened that when he took the shot to break the record, he took it like over here. So me, John, and Chris were just under the hoop, and we photobombed like his moment. Like, he's like this, and if you like go over there and then just do that, you see us like it's not flattering at all. You're just like, you see like three nerds who have never been athletic in their lives being so excited. And I just think about that night a lot because it was such a great night, but like since then, such horrible things have happened to me and Chris. Jon Stewart, if you're out there watching.
The guest list is where we're going to go through some popular podcasts in the comedy community and tell you who went on each other's shows to make sure that you don't miss any episodes that you would want to listen to. So last week, this past weekend with Theo Von, they did not have a guest on. Are You Garbage, a very funny podcast, they teased on Instagram today that they have Tom Segura on soon. They just posted this picture with Tom, so I'm very excited about that. 3 super funny gentlemen in this picture. That's going to be a great episode. Tiger Belly had on Neil Brennan. Your Mom's House had on Sal Vulcano last week. Another Your Mom's House production, 2 Bears, 1 Cave. They had Giannis Pappas, guest host for Bert Kreischer last week, or Bernd Chrysler. So it's Tom and Giannis on 2 Bears last week.
Well, your dream finally came true. Bert has passed away. No, I think he's touring. But I'm here in Austin, and I'm super happy today to be joined by the great, the hilarious Giannis Pappas, everybody. Let him hear it. Let him hear it.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Joe, and then this is something I want to talk about. Joe Rogan on Flagrant 2, or Flagrant, I guess it's called now. And I even put this in the community section for Joke WRLD. The Flagrant episode with Joe Rogan is some of the funniest podcast material I've ever watched in my life. And I don't, if you're one of those dudes that's like, I think Andrew Schultz is annoying, or if you're one of those dudes that's like, Joe Rogan is not that funny, all the jokes over his head, just watch this. I disagree with both those things, but they're common comments that I hear and read, being, a part of all this, getting your guys' feedback about comics. I feel that that's a common theme. Is people are like, Joe Rogan's is a comedian, and people being like, Andrew Schultz is annoying or whatever. And I get where people are coming from, whatever. But dude, watch this podcast. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then also since then, Mark Norman has been on Flagrant. So 2 big guests for Flagrant that last week. Whiskey Ginger with Andrew Santino. They had on Whitney Cummings. I have not watched that. But also Kill Tony tonight. Big guests. The Kill Tony has Ari Shaffir and Chris Stefano, Chrissy Chaos on tonight. That drops on Mondays, so make sure you check that out. I'm assuming that's going to be great, or at least a lot of potential. I also need to give a shout out to my dude Brett at Smug Rugs for making me this insane custom Joke WRLD rug. I mean, I don't know if we could get the full view of this in this shop, but this is the coolest shit ever, dude. Like, look at this. The high quality, handcrafted, like, Joke World custom logo. It looks perfect. It blew my mind when he hit me up and said they wanted to make these and then came through with this type of quality. Go check out Brett. Go check out Smug Rugs. Have them do a rug for you. Just, dude, look at this. This is legit the coolest thing. Dude, Tom Segura has shouted Joke World out. We've had a lot of cool things. Ari Shafir's posted this on his Instagram. This is the coolest shit ever. This perfect rug of our logo made by Brett at Smug Rugs. He hit me up out of the blue, said he wanted to work on this Joke World project, and I couldn't have been more excited. It's truly one of the coolest things that I've had happen ever. So go check out Brett at Smug Rugs on Instagram. He'll get you right with the rugs. He's the rug master. As far as specials go, you know, we have the Bob Saget tribute out on Netflix, and we have the Pete Davidson Best Friends special, or whatever you want to call it, out on Netflix right now. And then we try to highlight any other, you know, worthwhile specials that have come out, things that are definitely worth your watch. In the last week, I don't think there really have been many besides those two. Stavros' special is still out. That was last week, and it's up to already 1.4 million views, so that's killing it. If you haven't seen that yet, I would go check that out. Then I guess the same few that we said last week, like Mike Cannon, White Privilege Homeless on YouTube. You know, Giannis Pappas' Mom Love is still on YouTube, and so not a lot of new specials this week, but some new stuff out of Netflix. You know, Netflix showing love to the comedy world. They dropped the Pete Davidson and Bob Saget content. This has been the third episode of the Comedy World Update. We're going to start putting this logo on the thumbnail, so all you people that, you know, like this idea, want to stay in the loop comedy news wise, you can see that this is the Comedy News Update. Or you could just come back every single Monday. That's when we're posting these, and we're also uploading this audio to Spotify. So if you want to support the show, or if you want to listen on the go, make sure you download that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to. For some reason, downloads is really the only metric that matters there. So if you want to personally help me out, download it. Or if you selfishly just want to listen to it without having to watch me, or if you're on the go, also download it. But thank you for watching this video. I will see you again next Monday, and check out the Joke World podcast that releases every Wednesday. Last week we talked about Bill Burr's special. The week before that we talked about we interviewed Dusty Slay. We're actually talking to Mike Cannon this week, so we got a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline. Subscribe to Joke World, stay in the comedy loop, DM us on Instagram if you want some free Joke World stickers, and we'll see you again with the comedy update next Monday.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
What's captain of the ship.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, I don't like standing in between the two of you guys. I feel like you're gonna say something, make me hurt my feelings or something.
Thanks for having us on your shitty show.
It's awesome. Well, they said we want to get some of the shittiest comics we can find, and I said I could get you 2 for 1.
Good hit, Bill.
That's good. Congrats, I love your show, F is for Family. Dave has a show coming out called S is for Scurvy. Dave
Why are you wearing a children's bathrobe?
Nice one, Bill.
This is really fun.
I love it, because, you know, I always wonder what the Blue Man Group would look like when they weren't wearing the makeup. And it's just good to...
Today is Monday, June 6th, and Bill Burr just dropped a brand new Netflix special. Kinda. In one of the cooler ways of recent to promote other comedians, Bill Burr teamed up with Netflix to present Friends Who Kill. Essentially, it's a showcase on Netflix hosted by Bill Burr, featuring 10 of his funniest friends in comedy. Welcome back to the Joke World Comedy Update, where every Monday we're bringing you the breaking news in the comedy world, whether it be new specials, actual breaking news, where people are at on tour, and even who was on each other's podcast last week, to make sure that you don't miss anything. Make sure you subscribe to Joke World so you don't miss the comedy update, and you can also download this episode on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, to make sure that you can listen on the go and you don't miss anything. You're in the comedy loop. The only channel doing this, guys. What else do you want from me?
You look like that guy they interview on the news, and this guy was here to see it. Can you tell us what happened, sir?
So it's called Friends Who Kill, and it comes out on Netflix today. It's an hour and 13 minutes long, and it starts off with a 10-minute set from Bill Burr before he brings up his first friend, and then he hosts the rest of the show. The friends range from stars and icons like Jimmy Carr, Jeff Ross, Dave Attell, who a lot of people say is the GOAT. Then you also have like Ian Edwards on there, Jessica Kirsten, Josh Adam Myers is on there, who I saw in Austin live a few months ago, and I think he's one of the funniest people on earth. Definitely recommend checking him out. Netflix tagged this as raunchy, which we know probably means good. So definitely check out Friends Who Kill on Netflix. Comes out today. Bill Burr, new special, and he's promoting great comedy, which is really cool.
Nice to see you wore your clean jacket for this TV taping.
Bill, and I can never thank you enough for letting me live in your car. I really,
Dave's dressed for Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you.
George Carlin just had a new documentary come out a few weeks ago. It originally aired on May 20th on HBO. It's a mini-series out right now. You can still watch it. Directed by Judd Apatow, so it should be very good. I have not checked it out yet, but this is what Kelly Carlin, George's daughter, has to say about the documentary. She said, "Having been the public keeper of my dad's legacy these last 12 years, I've dreamt of the right people appearing at the right moment to give this documentary telling of my father's story what it deserves. An honoring of his comedic genius and unique cultural impact while not shying away from his personal struggles and humanity." So check this out right now if you have HBO, George Carlin documentary. I mean, he's one of the greatest comedians of all time, definitely on the Mount Rushmore, super influential to everyone doing it today. George Carlin documentary called The American Dream, out right now on HBO. There's been a lot of comments on the original video we did recapping the Tiger Belly versus Brendan Schaub drama, asking if Brendan Schaub ever actually showed the proof to the Tiger Belly team that they were behind the Reddit harassment. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch the original video right now, or save yourself some time because this seems to all be in the past. But basically, Brendan Schaub accused the Tiger Belly team of being behind the years and years of harassment that he's received online, specifically on Reddit, and that he had a bunch of proof and screenshots and papers and this ongoing investigation of allegations against them, and that he can prove that Tiger Belly's email address and URL and whatever was behind all this Reddit harassment. They were fueling all the hate that he gets. So this is a clip of Tiger Belly talking about what Brendan actually showed them after that show.
We have not seen said 300 pages of documents. After the podcast, we were shown a couple of zoomed in screenshots of source code with no contacts. Our email address is in the corner of one screenshot and the name Robert Lee on the corner of another screenshot. When we asked him who sent these to him, he said Brian. We then asked to be connected to his team directly to get further clarity, and he assured us that he would make that happen. We followed up with him for the next 3 days, and finally on Thursday, we received a text from Brendan saying his team would prefer to handle this issue in-house and does not feel comfortable sharing information with Tiger Belly. To recap, we have not received any substantial evidence regarding the accusations. We have not been in contact with a team. All we've seen are some screenshots sent to Brendan from Brian Callen. We're hoping to get some closure on this, but that's probably not going to happen.
I also came across a few clips of Kalila discussing past open relationships that she's been in and like how she's broken up with guys in the past. And it all kind of ties into this current situation with Bobby in a weird way. And it just blows my mind that she's saying this stuff on a podcast, or even if it was in private. Like, I just can't imagine my girlfriend saying anything like this. I think if I heard her say this, especially if it was on my own podcast going out to the world, I would either instantly kill her or kill myself. And I don't think that's a hot take. Just watch these clips, dude, and tell me that I'm wrong.
Can I just be really, like, candid with everybody? This is going to be the first time I ever say it, and he'll never admit to it, but Bobby's a cuck. I think that he fantasizes about other dudes being with me, and he gets off on it, and he'll never admit to it. But the reason he talks about it is because he secretly loves it, and he, even if they don't hit on me, he wants to believe they did because it gets his dick hard.
This road of love, this story that we create, doesn't have to be defined by such strict rules of monogamy.
Whoa, dude, what are you saying right now?
What I'm saying is,
Whoa,
I would
dude.
I would never betray your trust. I would never do anything without you seeing it in broad daylight. What I'm saying is, down this road, should you ever come up to me and say, hey, you know what, sweetie, this is what I had in mind, and this is what, whatever we need to do to spruce up our sex life.
Nope. I will not lie.
Why are you so...
Because this is exactly the road you went down with G-Unit and Steve.
No, I never. That was the first... you're gonna hold me to one
No,
relationship.
I'm saying, no, I'm not holding you to it, but I'm saying that these are the seeds that are being planted for that kind of situation. And what I'm saying is that I'm not going to do that.
What I'm saying is, yes, I do. Maybe I'm projecting my own fantasies.
Like I brought in somebody in a relationship towards the end.
Wow. Wait, with him there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You brought him back to the house?
Yeah.
And he knew who that other guy was?
Yeah, like I was in a relationship with 2 guys towards the end.
What?
What do you guys think? Comment if you would like your girl talking like that in public on a huge podcast. Comment yes, I would love that, or no, what the fuck. Real quick, I got to mention the sponsor of this video, eWin Gaming Chairs. If you're looking for a new gaming chair, this has got to be the brand for you. Supports up to 550 pounds, so it doesn't matter if you're super fat. They got these big pillows for your neck and your back. Adjustable armrests, they go up and down and they wing left and right. This is the best chair I've ever sat on, the best item I've ever sat on in my life. You cannot sit on anything better than this. It reclines all the way back like a car seat. I want to give you the full extension here, up and down. I'm not even strong enough to get it all the way down. This is an elite chair. If you're looking for a new gaming chair, if you're a gamer, or if you're someone who just sits a lot at your desk, this is the chair to get. eWin Gaming Chair, link in the description right now for a great deal on one of these beast chairs. The guest list is where we go through who was on each other's podcast last week to make sure that you guys don't miss any episodes that you'd want to watch. So we're going to start off with Theo Von in this past weekend. He had on Sal Vulcano last week. Hilarious episode. I think that is a must watch if I do say so myself. Sal was also on Whiskey Ginger, so it's a great week for Sal fans. A lot of good content out there.
The first book I ever read in my life was Green Eggs and Ham.
Was it?
Swear.
Mine was Nobody Listens to Andrew, a book I still own. My mother got it
for
me.
real?
Yes.
I thought you were going to be like, mine was the Iliad, you know.
Mine was My Kampf, and I got to tell you, tough read. But I got through it. I was young, but I got through it.
Joe Rogan had 3 episodes last week. He had Fahim Anwar, who has a new special coming out, Kristen Beck, and then some MMA episode. I can't pronounce this guy's first name, but his last name is Sterling. Tiger Belly had on Chelsea Lynn. Your Mom's House did not have a guest. And then Kill Tony Tonight features Derek Poston. 3 specials out right now that I think are definitely worth the watch would be Stavros. He came out with a brand new one today, actually, live at the Lodge Room. A lot of people super excited about that, or actually might have been last night, but it's brand new. And then you got Mike Cannon, White Privilege Homeless, that came out a few weeks ago. And then Fahim Anwar, The Hat Trick, live at the Comedy Store. He was on Rogan promoting it. It's at the Comedy Store, and he goes in every single room and does a special put together. It's very cool. Those 3 are all on YouTube. And then obviously the Bill Burr Friends Who Kill is on Netflix. This has been episode 2 of the Comedy Update, the Joke WRLD Comedy Update, making sure that you're in the loop with everything happening in the comedy world. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next Monday. Make sure you subscribe to Joke WRLD right now. Tell your friends about the update if they love comedy, and go follow us on Instagram where you can get these free Joke WRLD stickers sent to you, or these ones are free. Doesn't matter. We'll send you both. I don't care. They're free. Just go do it. Follow us on Instagram. DM us. Hey, I want those free stickers, man. And you'll get them in the mail. You'll be so happy. And people will stop making fun of you for not having Joke WRLD stickers.
With airplane peanuts.
You know, I've noticed lately, everybody has an opinion. And when I was young, it wasn't that way, People would have maybe, 6 opinions, Sometimes you meet a guy, he'd have 8 opinions. You'd go, God damn, that guy's opinionated. But about 6 opinions, that'd be about, and most of them were about food.
Welcome back to Joke WRLD. Today is Monday, May 30th, and Norm Macdonald just dropped his brand new special. It came out on Netflix today. It's called Nothing Special, and it's the hour that he's been working on leading up to the pandemic, where then he couldn't film it in front of a crowd, so he did it in one take in his living room, no audience, just him recording in his living room. And then after that, after his special, is his friends Dave Chappelle, David Letterman, David Spade, a lot of Daves, Adam Sandler, Conan, and Molly Shannon discussing the special, telling their favorite Norm stories, and just reminiscing on Norm. It's a very, very nice special. And this is the first ever episode of the Comedy World Update, the World of Comedy Update. It's every week, every Monday. We're going to start bringing you the news of comedy. There's so much happening, whether it be new specials coming out, new people going on each other's podcasts, the collaborations there in case you missed it, where people are on tour, if anyone gets punched or tackled on stage, we're going to cover that. Just with everything happening in the comedy world, the podcasting world, the stand-up world, any news that you need. This is the first ever news source dedicated just to comedy. So subscribe if you haven't. Every Monday, the comedy news. You need it. We're delivering it starting now. This is the first episode. So if you like this idea, comment, oh yeah, this is a good idea. And then we're also going to be putting this on Spotify and Apple so you can download this if you like it. If you want to listen on the go, get the comedy news on the go. If you don't like this idea, then comment something constructive like, love the channel. This is still an all right idea, maybe if it's good. And then I'll know that's constructive and good. We're going to put the topics we're discussing on the side, like the real news. It's going to be, but it's stand-up news. It's genius. Who doesn't want a comedy news source? Hit subscribe if you haven't. You love that idea. But Norm's special is amazing. It's out right now on Netflix. It's funny. It's sad. Watching his friends talk about him afterwards is pretty sad and emotional, but it's so Norm Macdonald like to get one last joke in like this, and it's truly, there's nothing ever been done like this in comedy. Having a special come out after you've died is a pretty crazy thing to do.
Gotta take a break, Todd, but when we return, Todd Glass will read from his book. No, I won't. Stoned out of his fucking mind. We'll be back.
Ricky Gervais also had a Netflix special come out last week called Supernature. I watched that. It's very funny, about an hour long. It's drawing a lot of comparison to Dave Chappelle's last Netflix special because people are outraged, apparently, about some of his jokes about transgendered people.
What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigger.
That kind of happens with these good specials, though. I mean, there's always some sort of backlash, but Netflix is apparently sticking by Ricky Gervais, and Dave Chappelle basically said, if you don't want to work on these projects, you might as well leave. So good for Netflix for supporting comedy, and Ricky Gervais doesn't really seem to care about the criticism either. Similar to Dave Chappelle, it seems like this stuff just rolls right off their back.
To me, there's nothing controversial in that because it's just jokes. It's nothing we don't do. Yeah. It's not as bad as the shit we've said today. I think, you know, and
we try to get us canceled.
Yeah. I don't know about that. But it is jokes. But I even explained what irony is at the beginning of the fucking show.
I know that's right.
And everyone there, you know, I don't know how many they played to. 500,000 people, no complaints. They laughed at all the things, right? But everyone's going to complain about everything in it. Every single line, someone is going to complain either because they hate it, they don't get it, that it's coming after. Here's the thing about comedy, right? I can list 20 taboo subjects, right? Everyone in the world laughs at 19 of them and hates the one that affects them.
You're delusional if you think everyone in the world is laughing at 19 out of 20 of your shit.
Well, okay. But I don't know what the percentage is.
Andrew Schultz announced his new rebranded podcast, Flagrant, instead of Flagrant 2 now. It's just going to go as Flagrant. And then they also got this new studio. It's very nice. It's very elegant looking. It's like a real talk show, kind of. Everyone's on a couch, and then Schultz is in his own chair. The main feedback from the internet from this, people are just saying that they want Akash to have his own chair, just like the old studio, that he deserves his own chair. They even got a hashtag trending for literally every comment from their new big reveal about this huge, expensive, luxurious studio is just about Akash getting his own chair.
Let's start it out. Feelings, no facts. Should Akash have his own chair? Go. You motherfuckers, bro. Why are we getting so much hate? Like we're not thoughtful about things. You don't think that we have multiple fucking setups? You didn't think that this ended up being the one that fits the space the best? Assholes?
The other studio did feel a little bit more gritty, a little bit more flagrant. This one seems like super produced and stuff. They don't have mics anymore, like physical mics. They just have them on the lapel. So it just feels more like it's a hangout, just watching some guys hang out, which is nice. And they said that they tease some other setups, like they have other couches are going to roll out when guests are there, or additional chairs. They addressed on the second episode after the reveal that they're aware of the hashtag to get Akash's own chair, but they've thought it through and this is the best way to do it. So looks like this is going to be the new look for Flagrant, not Flagrant 2 anymore. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like the studio? Do you like the old studio? Do you care that it's not called Flagrant 2? I feel like I'm just going to keep saying Flagrant 2 for just out of habit. but also sometimes I just say flagrant anyway. So, you know, it's really not that big of a deal, any of these changes. The studio looks great. Apparently it's very expensive. I'm kind of on the fence about it though, because it does look like so nice that you think it's like a real talk show, like it looks kind of corporate. But then you listen to what they're saying and you're like, all right, no, it's still the fellas being flagrant. So let me know what you guys think about the new studio.
The first thing, like, how do you guys feel about the studio? The first thing Mark says, he just starts trashing the Brooklyn studio and making up lies.
What lies?
You go, yeah. Well, you know, now it's different. Before, nobody wanted to come out to Brooklyn.
Why is that a lie?
You know how many people I gotta ignore? You know how many text messages I get on a regular basis that I just gotta be like, oh yeah, about that. We'll definitely have you on. Insert
you know how many text messages I gotta say, hey, ask Andrew, I don't really handle the booking.
Yes. Now you can be like, I don't even have a seat.
It's hard out here. Recession. It's a recession.
It's a recession.
In this economy?
You know what? Fuck it. Y'all crazy, son.
Oh, let's go.
Y'all are fucking crazy. This is how we doing the episode.
Fun podcast.
Come on.
The guest list is going to be the section where we go through who was on each other's podcast last week. Make sure that you guys are up to date. Any episodes that you might have accidentally missed or really want to listen to. This is just a reminder of who was on each other's shows last week. And this list will definitely add, it'll definitely grow to the podcast that we cover. For now, I'm just going to start off with the 5 basic, very popular ones that we make edits of here that people are just interested in when they think of comedy podcasts that have guests. And then comment other podcasts that you would like to see added to this list, other podcasts that you'd like to get reminded of, who's on each other's episodes, and we'll grow it from there. So just starting off this past weekend with Theo Von. He had on Giannis Pappas last week. Very funny conversation between those two. Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina P. They talked to Wheeler Walker Jr.
It's all insider fucking shit. So you want real shit, listen to Wheeler. You want corporate dog shit, Blake Shelton's your guy.
Props to Blake.
Joe Rogan had 4 episodes last week. He had Chris Stefano on, Neil Brennan, Lex Friedman, and Ali Sadiq. And then Tiger Belly had on Josh Peck. Go ahead and comment what other podcasts you want covered on this list, who else you want reminders for. And the Joke WRLD podcast that comes out every Wednesday, we interview Dusty Slay. Again, that episode is Wednesday, a full episode on YouTube and then on Spotify, Apple. Make sure you go download that and go listen to our conversation with Dusty Slay on Wednesday. Very funny comedian. He was just on Whiskey Ginger last week as well. That's another podcast update for you. Whiskey Ginger, Dusty Slay, Joke WRLD podcast, Dusty Slay. Now let's get into the specials. Other specials that came out very recently, and maybe not last week, but other specials to keep in mind. Joe List has a special on YouTube. It's very funny. Chris Stefano has one on Netflix now that's very funny. And last week, a relevant special that just came out, besides Norm and besides Ricky Gervais on Netflix, Giannis Pappas put one on YouTube as well. That one is called Mom Love, I believe. Giannis Pappas' YouTube. So that's it. That was the first Comedy World update, World of Comedy. I'm not really sure what we're going to call it yet, but I will next week. Every Monday, get your comedy news. The first ever media brand dedicated strictly to stand-up and comedians and podcasts, and making sure that you guys are in the loop with all your favorite guys, all your favorite comedians. Joke WRLD, subscribe now. Follow us on Instagram. We'll send you free stickers if you DM us your name and address. We'll send you some free Joke WRLD stickers, and we'll see you next Monday. Dusty Slay interview Wednesday, and then some other videos whenever those are. Welcome back to Joke WRLD. The results are in for round 1 of the 2020 Comedy Podcast March Madness Tournament. If you're confused on what this is, go watch the video in the pinned comment on this video. But basically, it is a March Madness style tournament of our favorite comedians, podcasts going on through March. Every Saturday at noon in the Joke WRLD community section, there's going to be polls and matchups that you can vote on to see who moves on through this bracket. So Region 1, the number 1 overall seed, the Joe Rogan Experience, going up against the 16 seed Trash Tuesdays. Maybe like a Cinderella story here. And no, it was 91% to 9% the Joe Rogan Experience. 1,600 views on this. And my favorite comment from this poll was Josh saying, this looks like the Globetrotters playing a high school basketball game, which is true. I think everyone saw this one coming, but the way tournaments work, the best seed usually goes against the lowest seed, and then they kind of even out. Now, the second matchup in that region was Uncle Joey's Joint going against Kill Tony, which seems like a little bit more even of a fight, but it was not. Uncle Joey's Joint had 83% of the vote, Kill Tony 17. 3,500 people voted on this one. All throughout all 8 polls, we had over 20,000 voters. So I feel like this is an authentic, real interaction for this March Madness little tournament. But yeah, Uncle Joey's Joint moving on. A lot of good comments about Kill Tony in here. How's Kill Tony no higher? It's literally the best show on YouTube. I found out about so many funny people because of Kill Tony. Tremendous.
How are the girls? Tremendous. How's the coke? Tremendous.
Moving on to Region 2, the number 1 seed there was Your Mom's House, and its first round matchup was against 15 seed The Honeydew. So again, there were 3,000 votes. Your Mom's House had 90% of them, and a lot of positive things to say about The Honeydew in the comments. I know YMH is a much bigger podcast, but Sickler's an absolute beauty and deserved better than this. The Honeydew deserved an easier first round matchup. Honeydew would have been the vote if Sickle Cell had been paired with literally anyone else.
I threw a subpoena in the trash.
A subpoena?
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Why?
Just didn't want to go.
Did they ever fucking find you?
No, because it was like from another state.
There's an open file somewhere out there on you. Do not say where the fuck that state is.
It does suck that the Honeydew had to go against Your Mom's House in the first round. They have such a huge army of people online, but that's the way that seeding goes. So YMH will be moving on to face the winner of Tiger Belly versus Whiskey Ginger. Over 1,000 people voted on this one. It was a little more even. Not even, but a little more even. 70-30 going to Tiger Belly. Obviously, it was Bobby versus Andrew, the bad friends, with their solo podcast, and Tiger Belly outdid him there.
Don't point it.
Back up.
Don't point it.
Back up there.
Don't point it.
I want this.
Put it down.
I'm gonna shoot you with this.
Put it down. Put
Dude,
the
back-
safety
back
on.
up.
Put the safety on.
Back up, dude.
Put the safety on.
Back up, dude.
Don't
I
do
swear to
that.
God. That's not even on safety.
Love Andrew, but yeah, he wasn't going to beat Bob in a popularity contest. TBH, I watch Whiskey Ginge every week regardless of guest. I only watch Tiger Belly if the guest is good. Bad Friends beats both, though. Talk about your chair for 30 seconds. Do you mean this chair? From Ewin Racing Gaming Chair? I could talk about that for 30 seconds. I still remember the first time I laid eyes on an Ewin gaming chair. I thought, I have to have that. The leather, the winged seats. But then I thought, there's no way that holds up to 550 pounds. Turns out it does. While other competitive gaming chairs only hold 300 pounds, the Ewin gaming chair holds up to 550 pounds. So if you are 549 pounds, if you like to sit in your gaming chair with 2 or 3 other people, it does. If you like to put big boulders on your chair because you don't know where to put your boulders and you want to buy a chair to put boulders on, this is the one to do it. My experience and use with this chair has been awesome. Look at this little pillow thing. This is probably my favorite part. This thing is badass, leans all the way back. Go get yourself one now. Link in bio. Ewin gaming chair. Oh, does your chair not have a neck pillow, dude? Look, full spin. Okay, back to the results. We're now in Region 3 with this past weekend being the 1 seed against Chrissy Chaos in the first round. 2,600 votes this past weekend with 73% of them. Again, first round matchup, not going to be the fairest fight, but Chris had a lot of support in the comments. 27% was a hell of a fight to put up against Theo. Sorry, Chris, not a favorable matchup. Still love you. Chrissy Podcast for the win. Love you, Theo. I love Chrissy, but Theo's comedy is too unique. A lot of sportsmanship in that comment section, but regardless, this past weekend with the dub, it'll go on to face the winner of Flagrant 2 against the King and the Sting, or the King and the Sting and the Wing, I guess at this point. So that was actually one of the most interesting matchups that we had because it was our only first round upset. The percentages were 42-58 with the King, the Sting, and the Wing beating Flagrant 2 in the first round. Wow, big upset. Wow. No, I'm actually surprised though because Flagrant 2 was the higher seed and it was 42-58. So it was pretty close, but all of these comments in here say negative things about the King and the Sting moving to Patreon. People are pissed about that and they have great things to say about Flagrant 2. Maybe it's because I spelled flagrant wrong in the poll, but I doubt it because you still knew what I was trying to get at. As long as the words sound the same when you read it in your head, you can spell flagrant however you want to spell it. There's many ways to spell every word. I love Theo, but Flagrant 2 is 10 times better than anything Schaub has been in. How is Andrew Schultz not winning? This one's too hard. These two would be in my final four for sure. Well, it sucks that they had to go against each other in the first round, but the King and the Sting moves on to face this past weekend, so it's a Theo versus Theo matchup there. And now we are finally in Region 4. It starts off with their number 1 seed, Two Bears, One Cave, going up against Hey Babe. Over 1,000 votes again on this one, and Two Bears, One Cave took it home with 86%. But that's not to say that Chris did not have a lot of support. Two Bears is great, but recently been listening to 6 to 7 Hey Babe episodes a day, quickly becoming my new fave. That is aggressive. 6 episodes of anything a day. Unpopular opinion, Two Bears is a must listen, but Hey Babe is funnier and more rich in content. I don't know how unpopular that is. Maybe a hot take, maybe something that no one said before, but I agree with that. Two Bears is such a must listen, and Hey Babe, one of the funniest ones out. But regardless, Two Bears, One Cave is moving on, and they will face the winner of the keynote matchup of this one, the moment that you've all been waiting for, really what this video was about, the Tim Dillon Show against Bad Friends. Now, there are 1,000 comments, not literally, but there are so many comments about why is this a first round matchup? This should have been the finals. And like I said, it's based on seeding. So Bad Friends was the 8th overall highest in subscriber amounts out of all of these shows that we just said, and Tim Dillon was 9. And out of 16 teams, those are going to be the 2 in the middle that have to go against each other in the first round. And it was sad to see one of them go, but it made for a great matchup. So let me stop talking about it and show you the results. Almost 4,000 people voted on this. It was 48 to 52. Tim Dillon Show. This was really 2 of my favorite shows in the first round, and that's just how it shook out. But there are so many comments defending both sides. It's crazy how strongly, and I don't know how often these 2 fan bases really interact, Tim and Bad Friends, but it is crazy how strongly people feel on either side of this. It's not actually crazy. It makes sense. These are 2 of the best podcasts, but you got Not Even Close. Tim is a national treasure. It's a real knife fight out here. This comment from Thomas Rogers almost says it perfectly. I think Tim is one of the most interesting and funny people to listen to on a pod, but the chemistry of Bobby and Cheeto is unquestionable. That's the part I agree with. Bad Friends should sweep this tournament. I'm sorry. Maybe. Sucks that they had to go against each other in the first round, but that's how tournaments work. And Tim Dillon Show will be moving forward. Yes or yes. So that does it for the entire first round. Now the matchups moving forward are going to go the Joe Rogan Experience against Uncle Joey's Joint in Region 1. Your Mom's House against Tiger Belly in Region 2. This past weekend against the King and the Sting in Region 3. And Two Bears, One Cave against the Tim Dillon Show in Region 4. So these matchups, the Elite 8 that's coming next week, Saturday the 19th at noon, the polls will be up for you guys to vote on in the Joke WRLD community section. I think that these are a lot more enticing, you know, just how tournaments go. We're in the Elite 8 now, so these matchups are really going to be getting into it. I don't expect to see any more blowouts. Make sure your post notifications for this channel are on so you don't miss out on any part of this tournament, and go follow us on Instagram if you want any free Joke WRLD stickers. We're sending those out to everyone who DMs us. Happy March Madness. Keep voting. Thank you for the 20,000 people that participated in round 1. Let's get it even bigger in round 2. Let's make this the biggest tournament of all time. Let's make this tournament bigger than the actual March Madness tournament. Joke WRLD to the moon. Hey, welcome back to Joke WRLD. This is round 2 of the March Madness podcast tournament results. If you're new here and you didn't see round 1, go watch that right now. I know a lot of new subscribers came in from the Tom Segura, Your Mom's House shout out. So welcome to you guys. We're doing a tournament based on our favorite comedians podcasts, but March Madness style. And then just one other thing based on that shout out real quick that I want to mention. Last night, actually, it was very exciting. Christina P followed us on Instagram, the main mommy herself. So if Christina's following us on Instagram, you should definitely be too. So the link is also to our Instagram in the bio. But let's get back into the podcast March Madness tournament. We had the Elite 8 this round. So there were 4 matchups. Region 1, the Joe Rogan Experience against Uncle Joey's Joint. A lot of people were saying the Church of What's Happening Now would have been better in this tournament than Uncle Joey's Joint was. But it's the 2022 tournament, and the Church of What's Happening Now has no episodes in 2022, so you had to go with the Joint there. Then in Region 2, you had Your Mom's House against Tiger Belly. Then we had this past weekend against the King and the Sting. And then finally, Two Bears, One Cave versus the Tim Dillon Show, our big matchup of round 2. So let's start off in Region 1 with the Joe Rogan Experience going up against Uncle Joey Coco Diaz, and, obviously very good friends. This should be a good matchup. We had 4,200 people vote on this, and the Joe Rogan Experience took the cake 80% to 20%. This seems like he's just going to dominate the whole tournament. I wanted this to be fair and not be a popularity contest, but he has been rolling over everyone. Even the great and powerful Joey Diaz really didn't seem to put up much of a fight. Tremendous matchup. Joe's like beer. Everyone can get into it. Joey's an acquired taste, but a little goes a long way. Yeah, he's more of like a whiskey, like, a shot. It's going to startle you at first, but you only need 2 or 3 to get where you need to go. This does not mean I don't love Uncle Joey. I got to go with Rogan. His podcast has a couple guests that have changed my life. That's what I'm saying. People have different connections to the Joe Rogan Experience than to a typical podcast. Speaking of, actually, we just did part 3 of the Try Not to Laugh Joe Rogan Experience. It was posted yesterday, so make sure you go check that out if you're looking for a good laugh on this Sunday. But okay, so Joe Rogan, moving on to the final 4, beats his friend Joey Diaz in the second round. Moving on to the next matchup, Your Mom's House against Tiger Belly. These, I think, are 2 of the biggest audiences on YouTube as far as comedians and podcasts and reach go. I'm expecting this to be a little closer. 2,800 people voted on it, and Your Mom's House just slaughtered them. Wasn't even close. 74% to 26. YMH just on a mission this March. It really seems like they're going to be the favorites to probably win this whole thing. Some of my favorite episodes are when these 2 collab. Completely agree. That's the thing about this tournament, is that it's not really saying that one's better than the other. I'm a fan of every single podcast that's been in this tournament, obviously, but it's just fun to spark some competition and to vote and move people through a tournament. Tough one. Only way to choose is George and Nadav in a Ginger Bowstaff cage match. Make it happen. I'd pay to see that. I love Tiger Belly, but it doesn't even compare to Your Mom's House. The following they have is insane. Following-wise, I'd say these are a little bit comparable, but Sam disagrees. Did not expect this to be so one-sided. That's what I'm saying. I did not see 74 to 26 coming, but nonetheless, Tiger Belly, good tournament so far. You had that first round win that we'll always remember against. Who did they play in the first round? We'll always remember it, I swear. Tiger Belly beat Whiskey Ginger. You'll always have that win in the first round against Whiskey Ginger that no one will ever forget and will always remember, especially me. Hot sauce is the best.
The enjoyment I get out of hot sauce and just lighting me up. And he knows what I'm talking about, right? I can't hear you in the headsets. I have headsets on.
Oh yeah, I was saying hot sauce is the best. Yeah.
And then 6 hours from then I'm sitting on stage.
Hot sauce is the best.
I can't think of a breakfast burrito without fucking fire hot sauce.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. And you're right, Ennie. Hot sauce is the best.
I just want to know what I did to you. I just want to know, how did I...
Moving on to Region 3, which was the Theo Von show. Literally, it was this past weekend against the King, the Sting, and the Wing. 2,100 people voted on this, and it was 69, nice, to 31% this past weekend. So, apparently when push comes to shove, people will take Theo Von's side over Brendan and Delia's for the King and the Sting. Theo by himself is some sort of very peaceful craziness that no one else can achieve. Gang, gang, brother, I'm upstairs. 100% agreed. It is peaceful craziness. I've never thought of those words to describe it, but that is very astute. As you all know, the comedy podcast March Madness is brought to you by eWin Gaming Chairs. I just got my eWin a few months ago. Before that, I had a chair I ordered from Amazon, and the back of that thing broke within, I don't know, maybe 2 months, and I had to kind of use it like a stool, or else the plastic parts would stab me in the back, and I couldn't lean back. Sometimes I'd forget, and I'd lean back, I'd get stabbed in the back, literally by my old chair. But eWin would never do that to me. It's built for comfort, it's built for luxury, but most importantly, it's better than any of your friends or family's chairs. So forever, when anyone brings up chairs, you can say, oh, I have an eWin gaming chair. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know shit about chairs. I have an eWin gaming chair. So that's really my favorite thing about it. But there's a ton of great qualities. Like I said, comfort, speed, luxury. You can get yourself one of these bad boys for 20% off using the Joke World link in the bio. eWin gaming chairs. There's nothing else I sit on. A lot of comments in this one debating like Theo by himself or if he needs to get rid of Brendan, or just a lot of that kind of talk that you could expect in these comments. So Theo Von, and this past weekend, again, another 1 seed moving on to the Final Four. So far, the Final Four is 3 out of 4 1 seeds, but we have one more matchup to go today, and it's the biggest matchup of the day. It's 2 Bears, 1 Cave against the Tim Dillon Show. Legitimately 2 of my top 5 favorite podcasts. 91 comments on this one. 3,600 people voted on it. And the results, the percentages were 61 to 39 to 2 Bears, 1 Cave. So the Tim Dillon Show, with the Elite 8 exit of the podcast tournament, honestly, the seeding was tough here. I mean, it went the highest subscriber amount to the lowest, so I couldn't really control where the seeds were, but the Tim Dillon Show having to start off against Bad Friends, beating them 52% to 48%, and then in the second round having to seed 2 Bears. I mean, they have gone through by far the hardest path to the finals in this tournament, or they were presented with the hardest path. I guess they didn't technically make it, but hell of a fight by the Tim Dillon Show. Tim Dillon's fans have his back more than anyone on the internet, and they all kind of act like him too. They're all a little bit angry, they're all a little bit gay, and they're all a little bit ranty. And look at this. Tim Dillon Show is a religious experience every time you listen. Anybody voting against Tim just doesn't know who he is. Tim can't be denied. Tim is literally a god on his own, and every podcast he guests on. I'm kind of surprised 2 Bears is being Tim Dillon. Literally wasn't expecting that. Tim has the second biggest Patreon in the world, and he's the only comedian, in my opinion, who goes on other shows as guests and turns them into another episode of the Tim Dillon Show. Votes go for 2 Bears, 1 Cave, but all the comments are saying Tim Dillon. We know the Tim Dillon Show is better, and so do you, Joke World. Yeah. Tim Dillon should have won this one. He should have. It's the more impressive podcast, yes or yes. But it's madness, man. Anything can happen. 2 Bears, 1 Cave with the not upset because they were the higher seed, but 91 other people are upset about it. So that's our Final Four. It's all the number 1 seeds. How exciting. Joe Rogan is going to face off against This Past Weekend and Your Mom's House against 2 Bears, 1 Cave, which is obviously the same production company, and it's Tom against Tom. And the Final Four ended up to be maybe exactly what we thought it was. There weren't as many upsets in this tournament as I thought there might be. Here's the other thing, dude, is I'm kind of just doing this off of, on the fly, just how this video is. I didn't really expect that. I thought voting would be the most fair way to do this. And it turns out that all the 1 seeds, all the biggest podcasts turned out in the Final Four. So maybe that isn't the best way to do this, but then it's like, well, then what is? Because voting, it seems fair. We're getting 4,000 different people to weigh in on these podcasts, one against the other. But then you have this comment section full of people saying that this is the wrong choice, but then it's 61 to 49%. So it wasn't even that close. So very interesting. And too late to change now. So next Saturday will be the voting on the Final Four, and then the Sunday after will be the video, just like this one, discussing the results. Very exciting stuff, though. I'm still happy we're doing it. And the real March Madness has been super exciting also. I don't know if you guys are following that, but I'm a big sports guy, and that's been exciting too, but not even close as exciting as the Joe Rogan Experience going up against Theo Von and This Past Weekend in the Final Four. Next Saturday, Saturday, March 26th will be the voting in the community section. Then the 27th of March, that Sunday, again, will be a video following. Make sure you go follow Joke WRLD on Instagram. We're featuring a new comedian every single day. Christina P follows us. Tuesdays with Stories account follows us. I mean, what are you doing if you're not following us on Instagram? That's a little bit embarrassing. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for voting. Thanks for participating in the tournament. Make sure you subscribe to Joke WRLD on all social medias and keep having a very happy and very mad March. That was kind of a weird ending. I wish I said something better than keep having a bad. Did I say bad March?
with airplane peanuts.
The final round of voting for the 2022 Podcast March Madness Tournament ended yesterday. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back to Joke World. But if you're new here, today's video will be recapping the results of our Comedy Podcast March Madness Tournament. Start off with over 25 different comedy shows. Then every weekend in March, you guys voted to see who would move on through the bracket. Now, it just so happened that the finals turned out to be the #1 overall seed, Joe Rogan Experience, going up against Tom Segura, Christina P., and Your Mom's House. Before we get into the results, though, it should just be said that some of the greatest podcast content of all time, especially my personal favorites, have been when these two guys have gotten on each other's shows. I know some of the best JRE episodes and moments happen with Tom on the show and some of their other friends like the Sober October crew. And the highest viewed Your Mom's House episode of all time was episode number 397 when they had Joe on.
Would you ever date your mom?
Definitely not. First of all, she's older than me.
Yeah.
Second of all, she's my mom.
Well,
Why? I'm your mom and you're my son, and I am falling in love with him. He said, "Are you really?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "You know what? I was scared to let you know too. I am too."
We're both consenting adults. If it comes down to it, you know, it's just like the gays. They're you know, as long as they're over 18, everything's fine.
you know what I mean?
The U.S. wants to jail them for 18 months. Well, that'll fix it.
They got arrested. They actually got arrested.
Oh, well, they should definitely arrest him. Who gives a fuck if you want to fuck your mom?
That's our point.
That's true.
Who cares?
I don't care. I don't
either.
care at all.
I don't care. But I think it's that he wants to marry his mom.
Oh,
there comes the
God.
legality.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
She's got a tattoo on her face.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
Look, once you have a baby too, your tits get mushy. That's it. That's just it's nature. So what should I do? Should I hoist them up? Should I have them reduced?
Don't talk about it, first of all.
Yeah.
Keep that shit to yourself, or no women are going to have kids, and our population's going to die off.
She's got dogs, like 3 or 4 dogs in the yard barking, and these coyotes don't give a fuck.
Did you see that video where the pack came into her house or into her yard?
Yeah.
There's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that neighborhood.
They're sketchy. I told her to get a subsonic 22 and just start taking them out. Pop.
She won't. She
It's
wouldn't
like this.
even
Pop, pop,
put him down.
pop, pop. Put a little bait out there.
Mm-hmm. Does this?
Wait in
What's
your
like
window.
the city rules about taking out a coyote?
The city rules, you keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah, and just kill that coyote.
Shoot, shovel, and shut up. What is it about farts that are so hilarious?
It's the best. They're never not funny. They're never not entertaining because they're so taboo. You're never supposed to do them in front of strangers. The smell, the sound, everything's
everything
phenomenal.
about it
They're
is
sublime.
And the people that love them versus don't like it. I think that's all rooted in if your household was okay with farts or not.
It's
you know?
class, and we had none growing up, so that's why we're Euro trash. So we loved farts and poopy talks.
Was farts? Was it talked about in your house? Was it?
No.
No. By
Speaking
the way,
of good, look how thin you are.
Thank you,
healthy
buddy.
bastard.
I've been working at it.
Thinner than Bert still, I think.
Oh, your Bert went right back.
Did you see how? I mean, like we had. I want to show you this. This is like people would call in or like send in videos saying Bert is fat in different languages.
Oh my gosh,
no, I didn't
it
see
was
that.
amazing.
Why is Bert Chrysler so fat?
Bert Rauer. Kurwa, dlaczego Bert Chrysler jest taki gruby?
Bert Kreischer, you are a fat cunt. You're a fatter cunt than Tom Segura, mate.
And then this was my
International's
favorite
the
thing.
best.
This was amazing. People that listen to the podcast that teach English as a second language would use the whole fat battle to teach English abroad in different countries. So this is in India, in Japan.
He's fat. You have a
Oh my
weight
God.
problem. You have a weight
It's in India.
Art Chrysler. Art Chrysler.
Riesler.
And you are fatter than Tom.
Oh my God.
Doesn't go to the gym.
Either he gets a little bit of kibble and some elk meat, or give him ground elk meat or
Man.
some other kind of meat.
Marshall's spoiled. He eats well.
He eats well.
That's awesome, dude.
He's a happy dog.
Yeah, I think everyone loves Marshall.
Have you met him?
Yeah, met him.
Yeah, you met him here, right?
A couple times, yeah.
He's the sweetest dog in the world.
Yeah, adorable.
Like, I didn't even know the dogs were like that.
Yeah, no, it's a special dog.
It's golden retrievers, man.
They're smart, too.
They're real smart.
I have a fucking box of sand as a dog, but she's adorable. She's sweet, but she's dumber than shit.
What is she?
Brussels Griffon.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
Looks like an Ewok.
Oh, I do
You
know
know?
what that is.
Flat
Okay.
face and-
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's an odd choice. Is that your wife's choice?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broads. They
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
you with the dog choice.
Oh yeah, dude. That's
They
I mean,
like those
it's
little
a
dogs.
sweet little dog, but
They basically want a baby that they don't care too much if it dies.
that's a good way of putting it. I think she'd be pretty sad if this one died, but
Yeah, she'd
Yeah.
be pretty sad, but
Pretty
not
sad.
like baby sad.
no, fuck no.
With no further ado, let's find out who won this thing. So the poll was live for 24 hours and had almost 10,000 people vote on it, and the percentages ended up being 66 to 34, with the Joe Rogan Experience winning. Congrats, Joe. Congrats, young Jamie. Congrats, everyone who voted for the Joe Rogan Experience. You are the winner of the first ever March Madness Comedy Podcast Tournament.
Have a little of this, then we'll spark up a doob.
There it is.
Get the party started. Cheers,
Cheers, my
sir.
brother.
Thanks
Congrats
for being
on
here, man.
October, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I enjoy clips of JRE, but Your Mom's House, along with a few others, I queue up straight away to enjoy the full episode. Absolutely hilarious. Obviously, that's a big downfall of current Joe Rogan, is that you don't get full episodes on YouTube anymore, and you do with YMH. So that's a big advantage that they have there. But I do like to queue up a straight episode of Joe Rogan if I'm on a long drive or something, because it can be interesting, even if he doesn't have a comedian on that week. When you think of podcasts, who's the first person you think of? Rogan's winning the whole thing. That's also what I'm saying. It is kind of deserved that he might win the first overall podcast tournament, because he did, in a way, invent the comedians having podcast game. I know Mark Maron had one early, but when you think of comedians and making podcasts, they all say they're inspired by Rogan. They've all been on Rogan. We think of Joe. I really like that comment. Best all-around podcast, JRE. Best comedy podcast, YMH. JRE is the best jack of all trades. YMH is definitely the better comedy podcast. A lot of people saying this, and I completely agree with that. You know, Your Mom's House is intentionally funny every single time, and Joe Rogan is occasionally funny, especially when he has comedians as guests on. But there are still some diamonds in the rough there. Like the Post Malone episode, that interview is hilarious, and he's not a comedian. Or the Alex Jones episodes are some of the funniest ones ever. And they're hard to see now because they're censored, but those are hilarious, and Alex Jones isn't a comedian. So sometimes when he doesn't have comics on, it still can be worth watching. But I definitely get what you mean. I'll watch a full episode of Jerry when it's a suit of comedians, like the episodes of Gillis, Norman, and Shafir. With YMH, I can watch just the main mommies for hours on end and not notice there being no guests. That's a huge advantage that Your Mom's House has, too, is that they have two hosts that are both comedians. So you can just have them talk to each other, and it's going to be just as good as Joe having a comedic guest on, too, because those are just two comedians that have some of the best rapport, obviously. I mean, they're married with, so... You know, you could, just listen to them talk to each other for hours. There's a ton of people that love to say Joe Rogan's not a comedy podcast, but to me, I think a comedy podcast is a podcast that's hosted by a comedian, not necessarily a podcast that is intending to be funny every episode. Because when Joe has on comedians, it's obviously a great time, just like when he has Tom on and stuff. But when he has on, other people, there can still be funny moments. It's just not maybe as intentional as YMH. All the real mommies know the real winner here. Jerry is dope, but sometimes Joe's jeans are low and loose, and Tim and Christine's are always high and tight. They never touch my camera through the fence. I just sit back, take 10 to 12 Benadryl, and finish in 4 strokes. Amen, jeans. That's the most YMH comment of all time. Had to throw that in there.
At the Cleveland Improv once, like I was grinding through a rough set, and this guy in the third row goes, he goes, "This guy's terrible, man." Like that, like fully loud, like this guy's terrible. And I was like, "What's up, man?" And then some lady in the back goes, "Your mama should have swallowed that nut." Like,
God
meaning
damn.
like,
this is in Cleveland?
yeah, at the Cleveland Improv.
Wow.
And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I go, your dad should have stuck around to raise you. And then, and then like, I got out of there pretty quick.
There were over 100 comments, and the main theme seemed to be that Your Mom's House is clearly the better comedy podcast, and Joe Rogan is clearly the most legendary podcast of all time, and maybe the most important, but not the funniest. Your Mom's House is clearly the best comedy podcast. Jerry is only funny when there are other comics on. This guy said, still can't believe Tim Dillon didn't get enough votes. I think we all know Tim Dillon is the real winner here. So besides the Tim Dillon fans, I can't believe that he was voted out 2 rounds ago. The Joe Rogan Experience takes the first ever win of the Comedy Podcast March Madness Tournament. But thank you to everyone who participated in this. We had over 60,000 people vote between all the rounds combined. So that's some really cool fan interaction there. Make sure you subscribe to Joke WRLD if you haven't already, and go check out our community section for even more polls and fun questions related to comedy. Posting stuff on there all the time. And also go follow us on Instagram. We're featuring a new comedian every single day. They send in their best 60-second stand-up clip clip, and we're putting them on a platform to get exposed. Also, if you DM the Instagram, you get these free Joke WRLD stickers, and they're really cool. And everyone who doesn't have a Joke WRLD sticker, that's very embarrassing and kind of lame, and like I would not show my face in public without one of these stickers, so I hope that you don't either. But thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.
Gear yourselves up, ladies and gentlemen. 11 months from now, join on in.
Today we're finally answering the question, who is the best podcast guest of all time? Now before you're like, oh, that's so subjective, oh, how could you say that, whatever. These are not my opinions. I'm not reading comments here. We're using cold hard science and math to figure this out. Now to make this fair, we're only going to look at comedians who, let's say, are more popular as guests on shows than for their own show, and they all have to have appeared on the same podcast before. So those comedians are going to be Mark Norman, Andrew Schultz, Chris DiStefano, Chris D'Elia, and Brian Callen. So we're taking those 5 comics and looking at their appearances on 3 top-tier comedy podcasts, being This Past Weekend with Theo Von, Tiger Belly with Bobby Lee, and Whiskey Ginger with Andrew Santino. Their scores will be calculated by the amount of views each episode got, divided by the total amount of subscribers that podcast has. So for example, Tiger Belly has 665,000 subs, right? And then let's say Mark Norman's episode got 1 million views. We'd take that 1 million divided by the 665,000, and you get a score of 1.5. The winner is whoever has the highest combined score after all 3 podcasts. It's pretty simple. If it doesn't make sense now, I promise it will once we get more into the video. If you're like, oh, I just want to see compilations, this makes no sense, this is stupid, whatever, bro. Come back Monday. We're posting Theo Von, Try Not to Laugh. But for everyone who really loves comedy and who's really interested in podcasting, I guarantee you'll love this video too. So let's just get right into it, starting off with This Past Weekend.
And let myself unwind. Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories.
This Past Weekend has 945,000 subscribers. We're going to start off with Mark Norman, whose most viewed episode came 2 years ago. It had 1.1 million views, which brings us to a score of 1.164.
There's Nick. Big Nick's a creeper.
Well, he's a premature baby, dude, so he's making up for lost time.
Oh, are you a
man.
preemie? Oh, yeah. Well, you came out good.
That's what I'm saying, man. Why? A lot of these guys going 36, and Nick got out early, bro. Nick is a hard worker.
Oh, yeah. I was like a C-section.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I came out through the fucking roof.
Oh, wow.
Or I guess maybe the moon roof or something.
That,
I didn't come out through the door.
I could see that. I could see you being like, I don't know, is this the best thoroughfare?
Right.
Let me see what else is going on
and
here.
You've all touched your mom's vag. I haven't touched, well, maybe you've touched my mom's. She's a big slut.
Andrew Schultz has also been on the show twice, first in episode 180 and the most viewed episode of 331. That episode had 1.2 million views, giving Andrew Schultz a This Past Weekend score of 1.269.
I'm tan, bro.
Yeah.
I look better tan, bro.
Oh, you do?
I think I look better tan.
Well, you come in a lot more, and I'll be honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
You come in a lot more, I think, Mexican, bro, or fucking beach Slavic. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like beach Croatian.
Beach Slavic.
Dude, I'm saying, bro, they're fucking Slavs, bro. They're about
Yo, them Slavs are wild,
Dude,
bro.
they are.
Because they're
ladies.
white?
Yeah.
But they're not.
Oh, they're not.
Right?
They're not, dude.
They're
you
not.
crack them open, dude. There's a couple brothers in there.
There's a couple.
You know what I'm saying?
Chris DiStefano's best episode was a year ago, episode 265. He racked in 631,000 views for a total This Past Weekend score of 0.667.
My feet are disgusting. They grow over each other.
I could easily see that.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, you look like somebody who would have webbed feet almost.
I don't have webbed feet, but I believe I was born with broken feet, and they never fixed it.
Yeah, sure.
My feet are broken.
Take care of yourself, dude, okay? That's what I'm saying. You look like a guy that definitely was in the band, in the school band, even though he wasn't really in it.
Yeah, like I was just there.
You look like you were on like the marching thing with the flag.
Yeah. Dude, you look like my third grade gym teacher, Mrs. Klein.
Oh,
yeah. She was like this lesbian we used to call her Liu Kang. You kind of look like Liu Kang from Street Fighter if he was a white dude and had money.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Brian Callen first appeared on episode 183, but his most viewed episode by far was 325, which had 1 million views, giving Brian Callen a score of 1.058.
Somebody said that you had 4 shoulder blades. Is that true?
No, it's not true. It just looks that way because I got muscle on top of muscle. I'm the first comedian to develop muscle on top of muscle. You understand? That's why the doctor goes, I got nothing to say.
Oh, yeah.
And he wrote on my chart, immortal. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good, but he looked at my blood panel and goes, well, guess you're never going to die.
Oh, you're that hemoglobin bad boy,
That's
dude.
what it is,
I like
brother.
that.
That's what it is. That's why you could sell my plasma on the black market for as much as rhino horn goes for. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ, man.
Fuck,
and people
bro.
are getting into that.
Hell yeah, I could cut a diamond with my dick right now.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I
and we
work
can
hard.
do that.
Yeah, I stretch up and I stretch hard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, now come over and sit on my lap.
No way.
All right, whatever.
This guy's that
fucking baby.
This guy fucking obviously
I hope this is
a
being
manager at a
recorded,
Chuck E.
motherfuckers.
Cheese.
Chris D'Elia has been on this past weekend twice, first on episode 104, then episode 204. Each time getting 1.4 million views, which not only makes him the most viewed comic out of this past weekend, but also gives him a total score of 1.485.
Dude, how many waiters at Macaroni Grill did you look like over the years whenever you went in there? Honestly.
I will tell you this straight up. I've never been to Macaroni Grill.
Oh, bro.
I know you don't believe me, but bro, I never been to Macaroni Grill.
believe you,
I
bro.
know. I get it. I wouldn't believe me. If a guy like me said, I've never been to Macaroni Grill, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I would never trust that guy. But I've never been.
All right, that's the end of round 1. Let's check the scores. We got Chris D'Elia leading right now with 1.48. Andrew Schultz right behind him at 1.26. Mark Norman and Brian Callen battling it out. And then Chris Stefano bring up the rear at 0.667. Tiger Belly. $665,000 subscribers. We'll start off with Mark Norman again. He appeared once on the show about 10 months ago, episode 295. That episode had about 767,000 views on YouTube, bringing Mark Norman a total score of 1.153.
You look like you fuck good.
No.
No?
No, I fuck like my comedy. It's stiff. It's quick. Yeah, it's not pretty. Not much of an ending. No closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
But it's fun though still, huh?
Sex?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's fun. I still get to, I'm still, and as a 50-year-old man, almost 50, I still, when I'm doing it, in my mind, I'm like a teenager.
Yeah.
I think to myself, I can't believe I'm doing this.
I feel the same way.
Right?
And then when they wake up. But no, it's...
Schultz has been on Tiger Belly twice, episode 226 and 277, his better episode being the first, which had 1 million views, bringing his Tiger Belly score to 1.503.
You know what I'm also tired of? We're talking about food.
Jews? No, I'm saying.
Well, you go to I went to a Mexican
I'm not even
restaurant.
Jewish, by the way. Most
you're not?
people assume I am.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus, look at. But anyway,
He's at 3.0.
Do we all look the same?
Yeah. You know what? I also like when you're like in Texas and you're in a Mexican restaurant and they go, we only use local ingredients.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I want guacamole. Get the avocado. Go to Vaughn's. I don't give a fuck. Right? I'm not tired of local ingredients.
Why are people so proud of that? Why are they so proud of the local thing?
Supports local farmers.
Here we go.
And
Make your farm better, and then everybody will buy stuff from you. Like, what are we doing here? Who are we joking? I don't support local headphones, right? I don't support a local cell phone. I don't support local camera. Like, why do we have to support the local farmer? Get your fucking business together. Get your fucking business together, and then what you'll do is you'll have something that everybody wants to buy.
Chris Stefano has been on the show twice, once with Giannis Pappas and once by himself. His solo episode aired about 8 months ago, doing 697,000 views, giving him a total Tiger Belly score of 1.048.
Children who have Down syndrome, beautiful population of children to work with. One of the things with Down syndrome is, yes, bigger tongues from the chromosomal deficiency. So you're saying that you have chromosomal abnormality.
Yes, big tongue.
Let me see it. Let me see it. That's a Down syndrome tongue.
Yeah. Brian Callen's best episode was over 4 years ago, Tiger Belly 88. That episode did 702,000 views, giving Brian Callen a Tiger Belly score of 1.05.
Baby, stop, baby.
She's sitting down.
Baby, just
Hey, don't push your girl.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Don't put your hands.
No, listen.
Don't put your hands on my girl.
All right.
Hey, listen. Bro,
Yeah,
let me ask
I
you.
went
Are
to
you a
your house.
superstar in Korea?
No, nobody knows me.
Really?
That's a fucking
Not at
attack on
all.
me. Are you a fucking superstar in fucking Norway or where your fucking people are from?
He's from the Philippines.
Norway?
He's from the
Norway? I'm
Philippines.
Southern Italian and Irish, motherfucker. And yes, the answer is yes. King.
Yeah, I went to your house. You probably a different house. Would you still live in Venice or Santa Monica?
The mansion or the other mansion?
It was the other mansion. This is before. You know what, man?
It's pronounced Santa Monica.
That brings us to Chris D'Elia, who has been an absolute beast on Tiger Belly. He's been on twice and did over 1 million both times. The first time being 1.2 million and the most popular time being 1.7 million. Now, Chris D'Elia's Tiger Belly score almost skews the whole graph. It's 2.256.
Can I ask you a question, Sir Chris D'Elia?
All right.
Why do you have bags under your eyes? Did you not sleep good last night?
I know. No, you know what? It's the fucking lighting probably, but also I got bags under my eyes. But they're fucking Prada, dude. They're Prada.
It is Prada, Gucci, a little Gucci.
Yeah,
too.
man.
Yeah,
I got Gucci, I got Prada.
Yeah.
I got bags, but it's all good. I'm
know.
grizzled, man. I got the fucking shit coming out. I got salt and pepper coming in. You know what I mean? I'm 38, dude. What do you want from me?
I know.
I'm fucking tall. I'm a tall drink of water. And I got bags under my eyes. It's fine.
Okay, that's 2 podcasts down, 1 more to go. Let's check the leaderboard. D'Elia's still in front. We got Schultz trailing him, and then Callan in the middle. Chris Stefano needs to pick it up a little bit, and I expect to see a late push here from Mark Norman. Last but not least, Whiskey Ginger.
Here, we pour whisk.
You're that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
Andrew Santino has 255,000 subscribers on YouTube. We'll start again with the Mark Norman episodes. He's been on Whiskey Ginger twice. First episode 57, and then later episode 132. That later episode had more views than the first one, racking up 340,000 total views, giving Mark Norman a total Whiskey Ginger score of 1.333, repeating forever.
What happened to your finger?
I got a cat. Scratched me.
Is this?
I really got a Maine Coon.
Why did you get a cat?
Just so I can say coon.
Andrew Schultz was on episode 35 and 114, doing very similar scores to Mark Norman. His highest viewed episode had 338,000 views, giving him a total score of 1.132.
For people that don't know, you're in the dark. Schultz is an incredible comedian, a good friend, and now he's a top dog on Netflix. Papa,
Let's go.
You were number 1, dude.
We were trending number 1. We didn't do number 1 like globally.
Let's just say it. It was
All right,
number
we were
1.
number 1.
We were number
bro.
1,
No,
bitch.
we were number 1.
Chris Stefano had a whole ass residency on Whiskey Ginger. He's been on the show 7 times. I can never go through all that information, but I will tell you is that episode 125 was his most viewed with 435,000 views, giving him a total score of 1.705.
And my dad gambled on my gender when I was born. He had to pay my uncle $500.
The doctor. The doctor's like, it's a boy. He's like, it's a girl, 10 G's.
It's a girl.
Like,
tuck it back. Lynn, tuck it back
Put
for
it back
the picture.
in. Put it back in.
Yeah.
Now here's where things get a little bit interesting. So far, it seems like Chris D'Elia and Andrew Schultz have kind of been running away with this. But Brian Callan on Whiskey Ginger episode 18 had 600,000 views. Now, with the way this math works, views divided by total subscribers, this is going to give Brian Callan a huge bump. His Whiskey Ginger score is actually 2.35.
I've met her, Justin Bieber. I've met a lot of famous people.
I met a lot of famous
When
people,
have you
Brian.
met these people, dude?
First of all, I did MTV's Punked years ago with those people.
Oh yeah. You were
You name it, I did it, dude. Darrell Revis is a buddy. Okay. Do you even know who that is?
Yeah, I played with him in college.
Oh, you played college football?
I did.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Where'd you play college football, Bri?
Oklahoma.
You played at Oklahoma?
Yeah.
What position?
Before I played in Miami.
You played at Oklahoma and the U. You played at both of those schools.
Yeah, dude, I did.
What position?
Safety.
And that brings us to Chris D'Elia. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, Jake, Chris D'Elia's never been on Whiskey Ginger. What? What's going to happen now? We're going to sub it in with something that I kind of view as equal and also a fan favorite of this channel, I know, The Church of What's Happening Now with Joey Diaz. Chris D'Elia appeared on episode 518 of The Church, pulling in 344,000 views, giving him a total score of 0.434.
This shit drives me nuts. I get it at shows, but like when you're shooting a special, I get a lot of these woo, and you're like, all right, I don't need this shit for it. You're stepping on my punchlines with woos. Do you know what I mean? These chicks, and they think they're liking you, which they are, but it's like, you're just gonna be
I
on the
used to have a girlfriend that was a wooer, and I couldn't bring it to the comedy
When
store. I
people
wanted
go
to put it to
woo,
the fucking
are you out of your fucking mind? What are you doing? Laugh or don't laugh. That's all I ever want. Don't laugh. You're gonna woo? What the fuck are you on a woo? You know how fucking stupid you gotta be to woo? You know how fucking stupid you got to be to woo? You know how fucking I don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a shit if you're at a fucking Angels game. You're a fucking moron if you woo.
Well, that brings us to the final results. Chris Stefano with 3.42. Fourth place, Mark Norman with a score of 3.65. The bronze medal to Andrew Schultz with a score of 4.092. The silver medal to Brian Callen, 4.463. And coming in first place with a final score of 4.471, the gold medalist, the best podcast guest of all time, ladies and gentlemen, Chris D'Elia.
Yes!
Obviously, not every comedian was looked at in this video. There's a ton of other great podcast guests. We just did kind of 5 people that this channel often features. But thanks for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Please go follow us on Instagram. We're sending everyone these free stickers. We got the Joke WRLD logo. We got What's the Deal with Airplane Peanuts. We're featuring a new up-and-coming comedian on there every day. It'd mean a lot if you guys could go blow up that Instagram for me. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.